Good morning, students. So let us continue with the chapter coordination compounds. Okay. So the next topic under coordination compound is isomerism in coordination compounds. Okay. So what are isomers? Okay. Isomers are compounds which has same chemical formula but differ in the arrangement of atoms. Okay. So isomers can be classified into structural isomers and stereoisomers. Okay. So first, let us study about stereoisomers. Okay. So in stereoisomers, let me show you an example. Okay. So this is an example of a stereoisomers. Okay. So here, uh, see the chemical formula will be same. Cobalt, you have 3 amine and 2 chloride ions here. Even here, it's the same. Okay. But then, uh, in case of stereoisomerism, the bonds will also be same. The only difference is in the arrangement, in the spatial arrangement. Okay. So here, if you see, you have two COCl bonds, right? Even in this structure, you have two COCl bonds. Okay. And then you have four NH3 bonds, right? In the structure. Even here, you will have four CONH3 bonds. Okay. In case of structural isomers, bonding will also be different. Okay, that is the difference between structural and stereoisomers. Okay. So stereoisomers can be further, okay, see this definition, arises due to different spatial orientation of ligands. Okay, in the three-dimensional space, the way in which they are arranged will be different in these isomers. Okay, so first, stereoisomers are classified into geometrical isomers and optical isomers. Okay, so let us move on to geometrical isomerism. Okay, so yeah, as I said, stereoisomers will have same chemical formula and same chemical bonds. Okay, but it will have different spatial arrangements. Okay, once again, look at this example. Platinum will have two amine bonds here, and even here in this formula it will have two NH3 bonds. Okay, and two Cl bonds here. Even here it will have two Cl bonds. Okay, so it will have same chemical formula, same chemical bonds, but spatial arrangement will be different. Okay. Okay, so so under stereoisomers we have geometrical isomers and optical isomers. Okay, so first we'll see what are geometrical isomers. Okay, so it arises in heteroleptic complexes. So if you would have watched a previous video, you will know what are heteroleptic complexes. In heteroleptic complexes, you will have two different types of ligands. Okay, so look at this example. Here you have two ligands. You have NH3 and Cl minus. Okay, so these complexes are heteroleptic. Homoleptic is when you have same kind of ligand. If there are 6 ligands, all the 6 ligands will be same. Those are homoleptic complexes. Okay, so mostly isomers are seen in heteroleptic complexes. Okay, coordination number with compounds with coordination number 4 and 6 will mainly show this type of isomerism. Okay, so now geometrical isomers, you can see cis and trans isomers. Okay, so if the coordination number is 4, okay, and if this is a formula mx2l2, X is one ligand, L is another ligand. Okay, so if you're referring this particular example, M is nothing but platinum. M is platinum. Okay, X can be Cl or NH3. Okay, similarly even L. Okay, X and L are two different types of ligands. Okay, and these are unidentate ligands. Okay, so these ligands, they can either be adjacent to each other. Okay, as in this case, they can be adjacent to each other as in cis isomer, or they can be opposite to each other. So here in case of trans isomer, they are opposite to each other. NH3 is opposite, even Cl minus is opposite to each other. Okay, so these are nothing but cis and trans isomers. Okay, these come under geometrical isomers. Okay, so this is for coordination number 4. If the coordination number is 4, you can see either this will be adjacent to each other or opposite to each other. Okay, so this example is for this kind of complexes mx2l2. Now, read this last point. Square planar complexes with MABXL. Okay, if all the four ligands are different, okay, you have different ligands, all the four are different, then it will show three isomers. It will show two cis isomers and one trans isomers. Okay, maybe you can draw and see. Okay. Okay, so this is a complex in which all the four ligands are different. Okay, so I told you you will get two cis and one trans isomer. So from this complex you will get three isomers. Okay, so what you can do is you can keep these two still. Okay, and then you can interchange these two. Okay, so you'll get the second type of isomer. Okay, and then you can keep these two still and then interchange L and A. Okay, so in total you'll get three isomers. This is not required, but then you can just check. Okay. Okay, so geometrical isomers, and you have cis and trans isomers. Okay, so geometrical isomerism is also seen in complexes which have coordination number 6. Okay, see this formula mx2l4. Okay, so X and L, as I said, there are two different types of ligands. Okay, so see the formula is the same, but then the spatial arrangement is different. Okay, here all these 4 NH3 are in a single plane. Okay, these two Cl groups are above and below the plane. Okay, here both the Cl groups are adjacent to each other, so this is cis. Okay, this is opposite to each other, this is trans. Okay, so this is for coordination number 6. Okay, so the next example for a geometrical isomer. Okay, here it's a bidentate ligand. Okay, bidentate is nothing but a ligand will have two donor atoms. Okay, this is an example. This is ethylene diamine. Here there are two nitrogen groups, right? Those two are donating electrons. Okay, so when so this will be the formula. Okay, so in this case, can you see the spatial arrangement is different? Okay, two Cl groups are adjacent. Here they are opposite. Okay, that is why. So this is cis form and this is trans form. Okay, so this is the example. So there is another type of geometrical isomer. Okay, that is nothing but facial and meridional isomers. Okay, okay. So facial isomers. So in these two, three ligands will be identical. Okay, whatever the ligands, three ligands will be identical. So here we have three NH3 groups and three NO2 groups. Okay, three are identical. Okay, in facial isomer, so can you see we have 6 groups here, right? So the coordination number, 6 groups here. So the coordination number of this complex is 6. Okay, so when the coordination number is 6, the type of geometry is octahedral. Okay, so here this is an octahedron, so the geometry will be octahedral. Okay, so in facial isomer, okay, 3 identical groups will be present at a face of octahedron. Okay, so if this is the complex, okay, there will be one NO2, NO2 and NO2. Okay, 3 identical groups. Okay, at this is a face, right? So 3 identical groups will be present at this face. Okay, points joining this face. Okay, that is nothing but facial isomer. Okay, so facial isomers are those where the 3 donor atoms of a same ligand occupy adjacent positions at the corner of a octahedron face. Okay, that is nothing but facial isomer. Okay, next we have meridional isomer. Okay, meridional isomer is when all the three NO2 groups is in the meridian of octahedron. It's around the meridian. Okay, so you will have one group here, one here and one here. Okay, it's in the meridian. Okay, this is nothing but meridional isomer. Okay, so facial isomer, can you see 3 identical groups here? It will be present at a face of octahedron. Okay, meridional will be present at meridian, 3 identical groups. Okay, so this is seen if the coordination number is 6. Okay, under stereoisomerism, the next type of isomerism is optical isomerism. Okay, so optical isomers are nothing but mirror images which cannot be superimposed on one another. Okay, these are also called enantiomers. Okay, which cannot be superimposed on one another. Okay, here the molecule has to be chiral. Okay, chiral meaning if you have four groups attached to carbon, okay, all these four groups has to be different. Okay, then this carbon is said to be chiral. Okay, it will have a chiral center. Okay, so if these kind of molecules, okay, are kept, okay, and if you pass plain polarized light through this chiral sample, then this plain polarized light will be either rotated in right or left direction. That depends on the type of molecule here. Okay, so yeah, I have a diagram. Yeah, so look at this. So if you are passing light, okay, so first you will make it plain polarized. You'll pass it through a filter. Okay, after that what you're going to do is you will pass this light through a sample. Okay, now this sample will have chiral sample, okay, chiral molecule. Okay, so this will be able to uh, rotate the plane polarized light in right or left direction. Okay, if it's rotating in the right direction, you call it dextro-rotatory. Okay, and if it's rotating in left direction, you call it levo-rotatory. Okay, if the sample which is present here is dextro-rotatory, then the light will be rotated in right direction. If the sample has levo-rotatory molecules, then the light will be rotated in left direction. Okay, if the sample has 50% dextro-rotatory and 50% levo-rotatory, then it won't be rotated. The polarized light will not be rotated. So the sample has to be chiral. Okay. Okay, so the molecules or ions which cannot be superimposed are called chiral. Okay, the two forms are nothing but dextro-rotatory and levo-rotatory. It depends on the direction. Okay, so these are just examples of enantiomers. Okay, these are non-superimposable. Okay, if you take this molecule and if you are keeping it on this, okay, it won't be similar. Okay, can you see these two green color groups? Those are in the left side, right? But here it's in the right side. So if you are taking this molecule and keeping it here, these green color molecules will be facing this side. Okay, so these are non-superimposable. Okay, so these are some examples of optical isomers. Okay, so if you see here this sample, you might feel it's identical. Okay, but then this is it's a bidentate ligand, right? So the arrangement in this space will be different in both. Okay, the three-dimensional arrangement will be different. Optical isomers of this particular example. Okay, didentate ligand. Okay, and for this example, okay, in which you have platinum as metal, okay, only cis isomer will show optical isomers, optical activity. Okay, because in this case, okay, if it's trans, both the Cl groups, it will be in the opposite direction, right? So in that case it may not be identical. You will not find a chiral center. Okay, so here you have a chiral center. This is cis form. Okay, so only cis form of this complex shows optical activity. Okay. Okay, so the next type of isomerism is structural isomerism. Okay, so in case of structural isomerism, isomers will have different bonds. Okay, so let us just see an example. Yeah, so in this example, so this is an example of structural isomerism. Okay, so cobalt will have 5 NH3 bonds, right? Even in this, it is having 5 NH3 bonds. Okay, along with that, there is one NO2 group. Okay, but here, since this is an ambidentate ligand, okay, here it is bonding through nitrogen. Okay, whereas here it's bonding through oxygen. Okay, so here the formula is same for both, but then the chemical bond is different. Here we have cobalt nitrogen bond, here we have cobalt oxygen bond. Okay, yeah, see, even in this example, okay, we have in this we have counter ion bromide. Okay, so all other ligands, sulfate and amine, will be coordinately bonded to cobalt. Okay, but in this case we have sulfate as counter ion, so the bonding is different. These are all examples of structural isomerism. Okay, so under structural isomerism we have coordination isomerism, linkage isomerism, ionization isomerism and solvate isomerism. Okay, first let's see what is coordination isomerism. Okay, so this arises when you have cationic and anionic complexes. Okay, I'll see this example. This is an example of a compound which shows coordination isomerism. Okay, this is its isomer. Okay, so this arises when the ligands are interchanged between these cationic and anionic entities. Okay, so in this example, cobalt is bonded to NH3 ligand, right? But in this example, cobalt is bonded to cyanidol ligand. Okay, and here chromium is bonded to cyanidol ligand. Here chromium is bonded to amine ligand. So the ligands are interchanged. When you interchange the ligands, you get coordination isomers, and the phenomenon is called coordination isomerism. Okay. So the second type of structural isomerism is linkage isomerism. Okay, so linkage isomerism is seen in complexes which have ambidentate ligand. Okay, so ambidentate ligands, what are ambidentate ligands? These are monodentate ligands which can bind through two different donor atoms, right? So one example was nitrite, NO2 group. Okay, it could bind through oxygen as well as nitrogen. Okay, so linkage isomerism is seen when you have ambidentate ligand. Okay, so in these isomers, the mode of attachment of ligand to the central metal atom is different. Okay, yeah, see the examples which is given here. A complex is drawn. Okay, so cobalt will have 5 amine groups, okay, in both the complexes. Okay, and it will have a nitrite ligand. Okay, but in this complex it's bonding through nitrogen. Okay, in this complex it's bonding through oxygen. Okay, so example is written here, okay, for the same complex. So when you write the IUPAC naming, you will name, when you write the name of ligand, you will write nitrito O. Here you will write nitrito N. Okay, so that is nothing but linkage isomerism. Okay, it's seen in compounds which has ambidentate ligand. So in this type of isomerism, the bonding is different. Okay, so the next type of isomerism is ionization isomerism. Okay, so this type of isomerism is seen when the counter ion which is present outside the entity is a strong ligand. Okay, and when they can replace the ligand which is there inside the coordination entity. So if the counter ion is a very strong ligand, this can happen. They will be able to replace a ligand which is there inside the entity. Okay, and they will make that ligand a counter ion. Okay, and they themselves become a ligand. Okay, so ionization isomerism is seen when the counter ion is a potential ligand, when it's a strong ligand, and it can displace a ligand which can become a counter ion. Okay, so these are the examples. So if you see here, bromide ion is a counter ion. Okay, but it's a strong ligand than sulfate ligand. So it is replacing sulfate. Okay, and Br is becoming a ligand and SO4 is becoming a counter ion. Okay, this is ionization isomerism. Okay, next we have solvate isomerism. Okay, this is also known hydrate isomerism. Okay, so in this case water is involved as a solvent. Okay, so this is similar to ionization isomerism. Look at the example. Here we have an aqua complex. So we have 6 aqua ligands. Okay, so these will be replaced. Aqua ligands will be replaced by the counter ion. Okay, see the isomer. So in this complex we had 6 aqua ligands which are inside the entity and 3 chloride counter ions, right? But here in its isomer So one chloride has moved inside, okay, and it has removed one H2O outside to become a counter ion, okay. So now we have 5 aqua ligands and 1 chloride ligand, and as counter ions we have chloride, okay. So this H2O will be present as free solvent molecule. So this is solvate isomerism. So in all these, bonding is different. Formula is same, but bonding is different. These are all structural isomers, okay. So learn these with examples. So when they ask for example, write both the isomers, okay. Thank you.